Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Those of you who are watching for the first time, you're welcome. And those who are going to watch the replay, you are also welcome. Thank you so much. Uh, my name is Stella. I am Ugandan, currently living in Quebec, Canada, with my children. And today I want to share my immigration story. Previously, I promised that I'm going to share the reasons why I'm in Canada, but I thought that it would be better if I start by um, giving you a brief history how it started, so maybe it can inspire someone. Now, my immigration story started sometime back in 2010. And like I said previously, I always loved to live abroad. I was looking at living in either Canada or um, Australia or United States. But of course, I loved Canada and US more. And previously, I thought that if you know someone in a country, yeah, you have a right to live there, which was wrong. And I think some people still have that belief that if you know a friend, they're going to help you go. It doesn't work. I just want to explain how I made it, and maybe someone is going to be inspired. But I need to give you how it started. So, my dream now died when I was in a relationship. I thought I had to raise a family, and so moving was not important there. But in 2014, no, 2004, we got a separation and it affected me badly. But I don't want to blame nobody for this. Maybe in French we say peut-être it was my fault. I don't want to blame nobody for this. I take all the responsibility. If you know the person, please don't start. She say, I take the responsibility and it's okay. I'm just trying to give you a background of how this started. So in 2004, we got a separation. It affected me just because I allowed people to judge me. And I took the judgment like personal. People talked the way they needed. And it affected me. And also because I thought that my life depended on someone. So I I was so affected. And I thought I was supposed to depend on someone to live. And I think there are people who are thinking like that. But for me, I learned my lessons. I don't need nobody to live. And I don't now care people judging me because that was it. And also cultural backgrounds. I was believing like I come from a culture. When I was growing up, it was like if you've been married, you have to be married forever. It wasn't marriage, it wasn't like official, but it was traditional marriage. And if you get out of it, you are not supposed to marry nobody. You're gonna look like a prostitute. And so that would scare me now. My worry was I had fears. I was scared now who's gonna love me again. I have children. I had two children. They were young. I think like four, maybe 6 and 4. Oh no, in fact it was 1 and 3 years. They were young. And I was like, who's gonna love me, these children? People are gonna judge me. What am I? As in, I started doing that. I reduced and I became like bones. You see, I'm small, but I became bones. I was so small. I wasn't eating. I remember one time my neighbor, because they knew the neighbors what was going on, and my neighbor came and told me, Auntie Stella, like in Africa, everyone is an auntie. Guys, I come from Uganda. I told you. Do you want to take some appetite tablets? She gave them to me and I used them because that's the level I that's how desperate I was because I needed to eat. I never used to sleep. So well, now how it started, I had a cousin in the United States. So her husband came over in 2010. But we used to speak during that time because I had hopes that they can take me, because I still had that mentality that if you know someone abroad, they can take you. Because now there is this problem, I want to go somewhere else. We used to talk about it on over the phone, and they would encourage me, but I could not understand because that time I was young. I had accepted a lot to happen to me. Now, when he came over, he said, Auntie Stella, I was so small. I said, you're a beautiful girl. Why are you killing yourself? Why can't you forget about that? That was in 2010. So when he went, I thought about it and I was, oh my gosh. I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm kidding myself. It's okay. I need to change. I need to find a way to live again, to be happy again, to do something, to get out of here. In fact, he even suggested going. He said, I told him, but you guys never helped me to live here. He said, it's not possible. This is how it can work. There are many ways people are going to other countries, but according to what I'm seeing, you are young, you are educated, you have experience, you can move to either Canada or Australia or United States or United Kingdom. They are taking people as skilled workers. Oh, I didn't know that. And so when he went, I thought about it and I said, I think I have to do this. I have to live again. I have to be happy again. I have to stop worrying about others. I have to stop the fear. And I was scared that I can't do it alone when I'm abroad. So in 2010, after thinking about it, my life changed. I started taking charge of my life, knowing that I don't need nobody for me to be happy. I started looking now even better, but it takes time when you've been like bones to look. The skin is dry. Well, but that is just an experience. Maybe there's someone going through this. I just want to encourage you that you can change your life by moving to this country if you want, or doing something else. Now, I started looking at Canada, how I can migrate here as a skilled worker, and Australia. When I looked at Australia, it was difficult. The points were like difficult to get for me. I said I won't be able to do this. I concentrated on Canada. When I looked through the provinces that were speaking English, because I did accounting at the university and I was working in accounting department. So my experience was in accounting. I did not have, they did not want accountants then. In 2010, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm stuck again. So I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna stay here. Well, I knew that Quebec was selecting its people differently. So I read about it and I saw that they were taking accountants and I was happy. When I read deeper, they said one of the qualifications one had to have was speaking French. I didn't know French. And I was, oh my gosh, I'm stuck again. I'm going nowhere. And I just want to leave. Oh my gosh. I said, what can I do? French is not going to stop me from leaving this country. I am young. I have the money to leave, to go. I have the experience. It's just the French. And that time I was living with my children and a maid. The children were young. I think the elder one that time was in primary two, and the youngest was in nursery upper. But when they were going to school, because we are taking different directions, the bus, yes, they had a bus we would pay, bring them, and also take them in the morning. So I would only drop them at the bus stop. My maid would do that, and then I go work. I was working full time, 8:30 to 5:30, meaning if I'm to look for French lessons, I have to do in the evening. So I looked around, and that's when I saw that in Alliance Francaise de Kampala, there was French lessons. And I was happy that the next session for beginners was starting the following month. What I did, I registered and I was ready to start. I said, yes, I have children home. They need to eat, but I have a maid, and she wasn't that old. I think she was like 16. Oh, yeah. So I said, the maid is going to take care of the children. I don't care. But of course, it's hard, but I have to learn the French. One time, Sometimes I would go back when she has given them food at 9, or maybe I get home 9:30, they haven't eaten, but somehow we managed. And I continued with my French lessons, but I didn't tell nobody that I had started this for moving out of Uganda. Not even the cousin who encouraged me, because I didn't want nobody to discourage me at that time. I said, let me do it quietly. So in 2011, I contacted a lawyer online. I am a big risk taker. I read and I saw that I need a lawyer to help me. I employed a lawyer because in this process, you need a lawyer. According to me, this is what I think, because this thing is age based, the way they award points. And every time you add one year on yourself, you lose 2 points. So I did not want anything to disturb me. I never wanted nothing to come between the way. As in, this was a big investment for me. I said, I'm gonna employ a lawyer. I know I can do it by myself, but just in case you make a mistake, the government returns the documents to you and you start again. You correct and start again. I never wanted that. So with a lawyer, I knew that they know what they're doing. They have experience. They will never make a mistake. All I needed was to make sure that I provide the documents they want, the information they want. I go to school, learn French, and I just sit back and they do the job. That's what I did. So I applied in 2001, after I realized that now I need to live again. I'm living for myself. I need to be on my own. But of course, life has changed. I'm doing everything normal. I'm dating everything. Now life is good. Um, I applied, I think, in 2011, and I did my English, because also English is a requirement. International English test is a requirement. Let me see when I did it. I just want to give you information. I did my IELTS in 2011, and I was lucky. I passed it immediately. When I passed it, I also sent it to the lawyer, because he told me, you can give me the information you have. I'll be updating your file. Let's try to apply with what we have. That's what he told me. I gave him the English, I gave him everything. I went to schools, I went to the university, I went everywhere to collect all my certificates. It wasn't easy, but it's doable, don't fear. So I gave him that, and I continued with my French. And now I had to pay, he told me the total was like $2,800 United States in total, but I had to give him $750 as a down payment, which I did. I had my money, I was working. So I gave him the money and he started the process, and I went to school. Every time I finish a level, I give him, he updates my file. Now, in 2013, I didn't hear nothing from the lawyer. And I started getting scared, and I almost dropped out of the French school. I think I dropped for a semester because I was tired. I'm like, why am I doing it? Because when I was applying, they said it's gonna take 12 to 6 months. But my process was the longest ever. It started in 2011 and I got my visa in 2018. But there was a problem in between there. I thank God I employed a lawyer, because I wouldn't maybe have qualified. I wouldn't have been here. So in 2014, I contacted the lawyer and I said, what's going on? Do you hear from the embassy? Because, of course, I go through the lawyer to get to the embassy. The embassy never communicates to me, but they communicate to the lawyer. He said that they know that the embassy that is working on the Ugandan documents is very busy. There are so many people waiting. So, but my application is in the line, in the queue. I became a little happy and I went back to do French. So in 2000, that was, I contacted in January, but in around March, The lawyer sent me communication and said that the government has cancelled all applicants who were not at a level of B2 at the time they applied. And for me, I had not reached that level, meaning all the certificates have been sent me. I'm not yet B2 advanced. That is intermediate advanced. Ah, my gosh, I'm stuck again. I was so like down. And I said, okay, this has failed. But he said, as lawyers, we are going to take the government to court because all people who had applied before, they shouldn't be affected by this law. And somehow I got some energy. So after like maybe 6 months, they got back to me and said, my application has been accepted. As in, it has been reversed. It's gonna affect new applicants. That's why right now, if you wanna come here, you have to have B2 advanced intermediate. But it's not difficult, guys. If you want, you can do it. So I started now to do what? To go back to French again. And in 2000, I think, let me see, when I did this, I have something here. I just needed to give you information to make sure that you get encouraged. You don't be discouraged. Yeah. In 2015, they sent me an email and they said, but before 2015 January, I got another baby. And so in 2015, in March, they sent me an email and they said, my application was ready for interview. I was ready for an interview, so I need to prepare myself in the next 2 to 6 months. And now I might have a baby. I'm saying, okay, but it's okay. I'll go with my baby, but I'll leave my baby behind. I'm not going to include him. The other two already, they were not going. The dad had said they are not going. So I said, I also don't take my child because maybe it's difficult because of what we hear. People telling us that things are so difficult, but it's not true. It's difficult when you're single, of course, but not as difficult as it is when you're back home. I've been there, I've been here with children. Don't, therefore, therefore, I waited, and in November 2015, they sent me. Now, when I'm waiting, the importance of using a lawyer, they prepared me because they know that whoever goes for an interview, if you want, you can share what they have asked you if you want. So they prepared everything they thought I would be asked, and they sent to me and told me, read this, be aware of this, do this, do this. And so I was prepared. They prepared me. And on that day, I went on 2000. I'll never forget November 17 at 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. I had an interview in Nairobi to get my selection certificate. I went in the morning at 3 a.m. in Tebe, then I went and I came back in the evening. But when I was there, this lady was a pure Quebecoise. She was, oh my gosh, with the accent Quebecoise. The French we speak, of course, is different. You'll never get their exact accent unless you learned the French from here and when you are very young. Not even the English, you'll never get the accent, the way they speak. You're going to get some of them, but not exactly. So it's okay, they know that. You don't have to worry. What you need is just to be able to communicate. So I faced this lady to say, bonjour, avec accent québécoise. I said, oh my gosh, I speak my French in the African accent, Ugandan accent. And she was so impressed. You know, what they want is, are you able to learn a language? Do you have that attitude to learn? Do you want to learn something new? That's what they want. She was happy. She said, when did you learn the French? I said, I started in even Rongo French. It wasn't very perfect. Remember, I'm learning it from back home. There are no people speaking French. You're going to get a wrong accent maybe somehow. Ah, moi, j'ai appris le français. I tell him I learned the French. When I got the opportunity to come, she was happy. She signed and said, vous avez réussi. You have succeeded. I mean, you have got it. I was so happy. I cried. I cried, but I don't know why I'm crying. And on that day, I was the happiest on that flight, thinking, oh, I'm going to Canada. After all this I've gone through, I'm going. So that day I met a friend there. She's Rwandese. I met her there and we became friends. So we discussed how we're gonna be here, how we're gonna pass. But of course, she knows the French. The Rwandese speak French very well. And she told him, don't worry. So she told me she's taking her son. And I said, I'm leaving, man. She said, don't leave your daughter. Go with her. It's easy. The government is going to give you daycare fees. And here they do. If you come with a child, they do. Unless you take a child to a very expensive daycare, they're going to take 70% and they give you. And if as long as you are working, you are not going to take a child to the daycare and sleep in the house. You have to be working. So and they're gonna, if the child is in primary, you're not gonna pay nothing. Take the child to school. They're gonna assist you at the beginning. Give your child care. Some little money. It's nice. Better than I compare than me having a child as a single mom back home and having a child as a single mom here. It's easier here. Though people say you will suffer, they know that because you have to take a child to the daycare, you have to come back and cook. You don't have a maid here. It's okay, better than having a maid you don't know. You just go today and the following day you leave a child with a maid and you have to look for the tuition to take the child to school. As in, I look at many things and I'm like, this place is better for me. I don't know for you. However, we also have our challenges, which I will share. Not everything is rosy here. Never. But I love that part. Now, I got my friend, we started communicating, and in 2017, that was in 2017. This was in 2017. We see the date here, July 2016. No, when I come back with my certificate of our selection certificate, we start the new application for now it's federal government, Canada as a whole, to get the permanent resident card or permanent residency. We started that process, and now, before I start that, I met my friend and tells me to add my child. I come back, I had to get a certificate of selection for my child, which I applied for in December 2016, and by March 2017 I'd got it. 2016 I'd got it. And my application now selection certificate reached my lawyer. And I don't know how they do it. In April 2016, they told me that I got it. So we started applying for federal, and we got now a communication. I was not scared anymore because I was a good citizen. I was not scared of security because they're gonna check your security, criminal record, and they're gonna look at your medical. I said, I'm healthy. I'm not scared because unless you have a disease where you look like you haven't been able to manage it, whether you have diabetes or um, had high blood pressure and it's not manageable, that's when you're gonna refuse it. And even when you have HIV, but it is managed, you're gonna be accepted. So, as in, I was okay. I didn't have a problem. I just started eating even healthier to make sure that I don't become sick or reach a situation where they're gonna test me and say this is not good. Now, we add my children, we go for medical in 2016 July. All of them, whether you are taking your children or not, all of them, the three of us went, the three of my children and myself, and all of us in 2017 February, the results came back and everything was fine. All of us were okay. And I was like, wow, I'm going. So I waited out. I'm not telling nobody, guys. I'm quiet. I don't need negative feedback. I don't want people to stop me to advise me the other way. Abroad is hard. There is snow. You're a single mom. It's gonna be hard. I never wanted that kind of crap because it was me who was feeling how I was feeling, and I needed to go somewhere, and I thought it was better here, and I will tell you why it's nice here, and also why it's not good here. So you make a decision. Now, in May, that was in January 2018, I get a communication that they were ready to give visas, to issue visas, guys. And I was at the office. The following day, I came late at the office because I had to pass by the embassy. I think we don't have an embassy, but we have something. What is it called? The consulate. And I left my cards there. And after 1 month, in February 2018, they sent another email. pick your pick your passport. The visas are ready, guys. I was the happiest person ever. It was a long process, but what kept me going? I never gave up. Don't give up if you want. Don't look at French as something difficult. There are so many other ways of coming here, but I look at the process to come here easier because learning French is easy. Learn it as during your leisure time. It's not like mathematics, you have to cram this. Why people pass CPA, SCCA, but you can't learn French and you're telling me you want to come here? Unless you come here illegally, but for me, that's a process that I use and I think it is easy. Anyone can do it unless you don't want. You're a single mom, you have young, you are young, you have the experience, the money is not difficult to get. I'll tell you everything in the steps so you know what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do right now, maybe if you want to come, go do the English test. Go do that English, the international English exam, because it's a requirement. Go online and Google IELTS. IELTS. Look at the demos. There are many videos you can use. I never went to school, by the way. I used those slowly at the office, guys. Sometimes you need to learn how to use their facilities slowly. Workers in Africa, it's possible. Here, you cannot. That's one thing you should know. Come here to work 8 hours. It is 8 hours. Nothing. No, no, no forgery. Here, you have to earn what you've worked for. But anyway, I just wanted to give you all that story so I can motivate someone. So I can show you that it's not easy, that when it's easy, but you shouldn't think that if I want to go somewhere, I apply today and in 2 months you go. No, sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it's fast, especially if it's you're coming because someone is your spouse or because you were a child. Like my children, I applied for them and it took like 6 months when I involved a lawyer. I always want to use lawyers because they never go wrong. Like when I was bringing my children here, I tried doing it by myself and they returned the documents to me twice. And my child was almost reaching an age where they would ask for so many documents. Immediately, I went back to my lawyer. Once I involved my lawyer, in 6 months, my children were here. My friend I've been talking about, and when she started her process was in July last year for the husband to come. Yesterday, the husband came. How many months are those? As in the process now is shorter. You don't have to worry if you want to come here or anywhere in Canada, but the processes are going to change. But this is the process I used. I'm sure that now things have changed. This maybe the process is shorter. Just learn the French, guys, if you want. Learn it. And I didn't tell you, so that friend of mine introduced me to her sister, cousin, who stays here in Montreal. So when I came, that's where I stayed. My sister now picked me up from the airport and I stayed with them 2 months. I never bought nothing in that house. They're so cute. So I stayed there and they're sisters. My sister came as well, is in Gatineau. Though it took her longer, like a year after me or some months, but she's here. Meaning people come. This place is so big and they are looking for people. This information is on the internet. Use the internet. But I'm also going to give you the steps and links you can use so you can come if you want. I feel so bad that people want, but they cannot just because they don't know what to do in most cases. Anyway, that is my story. That's how I came here. But I love the place despite the challenges. I love it here better than when I was back home. Guys, I'll be coming back now with why I love here. And then I will tell you why you shouldn't love here, baby. That's me, by the way. And then we shall be talking about the steps. Thank you so much. Have a good day, and I hope you can share this. Like, share, subscribe so that you can get more videos or you can help someone else. You may not need this, but someone else may. Let's help each other. Let us stop where people say Ugandans that's so difficult. They don't want to help. They always say it here. I even saw something here. People in London, Ugandans. Why do we have to be like that? Let us change. Let us cut that cast. Let us be united. Let us be better. Let us be good. Let us help each other. Have a good day, guys, and see you soon. Bye.